Hello everybody, Border22 with my reaction/review of Doctor Who. This is going to be season 12, episode 10, Timeless Children. Not child, children. And this is quite an interesting episode, I have to say. And I have some notes on the side here that I'm actually going to be looking at. Actually, let me just switch everything around so it's more fun. So the first thing to talk about is, of course, the episode will start off right where the last one left off at, which is actually quite good, actually, because I was worried there would be like some sort of gap or something or whatever. But no, it just pretty much starts off with what the last one did, which kind of expected. Kind of wasn't sure, but definitely a good thing they did that, I feel. And then we cut straight to Yaz and Graham and the others trying to escape the cyber ship. And this is actually quite interesting because they're like dodging bullets and stuff, and one of them gets shot and don't know what happened to, I guess we do know what happened to her. She's dead, I guess. Or maybe she got converted, I'm not sure. But because what happened next is actually quite interesting, because Graham, Yaz, and the others decided that they're going to take the Cybermen, the decommissioned ones, or the ones that are not activated yet, and they're going to take out the, human body parts and slip into the suit themselves to try to get off the ship. And I was a little bit worried about that. I was like, oh, is that really going to work? Are they going to is the suit going to convert them? Like, what's going to happen? Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, like I was saying, like, as they're getting ready to put the armor on, I was a little bit worried that, they're just going to get converted. I was like, oh, this is not going to end well. One of them's probably going to get converted. And that actually didn't happen, as we'll find out later on. In the episode, anyway, we find out that doesn't happen, and they successfully get back to where the portal is to get ready to go help the Doctor. But in the meantime, the Master is in the Matrix. So that's a really interesting callback from a previous season, and I'm not sure if it was a classic Who thing or not. I guess we'll find out eventually. But, yeah, very interesting. Wow. All of the callbacks. And while they're in there, the Master calls the Cybermen and basically says, come claim Gallifrey, come claim this planet. The planet's dead, And we find out later why he did that. But, then the Master decides to put the Doctor into the Matrix to view the history of Gallifrey, which I gotta say is very interesting. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. And, all this history, the first regeneration and the first experiments with that kind of stuff. And, through all this stuff going on, at one point during it, the Master actually goes and absorbs the Cyberium from the lone Cyberman, which was bad. I gotta say bad. Because that can lead to a bunch of bad stuff happening all at once, and we'll find out later exactly what that means. We basically find out that the Master didn't actually, completely obliterate all the Time Lords. He just killed them and kept their bodies on like suspended animation or very cold apparently. And he was experimenting and he made it so Cyberman can regenerate. Bad. Like extremely bad. Like, oh my god. Like, and I'll talk about this here in a minute, but the implications of that, like, would have been extremely bad. And so to go back off track a bit, while the doctor was in the Matrix, she like, didn't get all of her memories back, because there's still some things that she doesn't know. Like, she doesn't know any of her previous lives, apparently. Which is actually very interesting because there's actually a Classic Who episode, if I remember correctly, it's called The Brains of Morbius, that go over the possibility of the Doctor actually having lives before the first one, before William Hartnell's Doctor. And yeah, then all this stuff happens with the Master making the new race of Cybermen and traps the Doctor back into the Matrix again, where we actually see the other Doctor, the one that we've seen earlier in the season. And, she's basically just helping out the Doctor, try to find a way to get out of the Matrix, and she actually does. Like, she gets out just as Graham, Yaz, and Ryan and everyone else are there to save her. And then they all board a TARDIS, like an old design TARDIS. So basically just before anyone, I imagine it's like a new designed one. What they look like when they're brand new. And the Doctor wants to send everyone back home. And there's this detonator thing, and they're going to use a little tiny Cyberman that the Master shrunk earlier to blow up like all organic matter on the planet, which would include itself, so the Doctor is ready to sacrifice himself to save everyone. And it doesn't come to that, because one of the other guys, I can't remember his name, I'm so sorry, but he sacrifices himself. And everyone's basically back home. Like, this brings up a few questions I have, like, is the Doctor going to go back for Graham, Yaz, and Ryan? Is she going to go back for them? They probably think she's dead. Or they might think she's not, and try to find a way to contact her. Which would be quite interesting to see if they do something like the Christmas special and New Year's special. I don't know what they're doing this year or the next season. But that's one heck of a place to leave off. Now, I think this is the finale. If it's not the finale, then I'll be in for a big surprise. Or if they release a special soon about this. Anyway, everyone's back home, and the very, very last scene, which is going to be quite interesting to see how it gets resolved, is the Doctor gets arrested by the Jadoon. And then the episode just ends. What the hell? I mean, that... Like, okay, so I know they're probably going to be going over that, like with the Christmas special maybe, or maybe a New Year's special, or maybe just a special episode at some point. Like, I'm really looking forward to that, and definitely can't wait to see how the Doctor gets out of that mess, see if she reunites with everyone. If she doesn't reunite, then this would be their last episode, which would be kind of sad. Because the Doctor didn't really get a good chance to say a proper goodbye to everyone. Anyway, I think that's pretty much going to be it for this overview. I feel like I've covered everything I wanted to cover in this episode. And yeah, I guess I'll see y'all in my next reaction, whatever that would be. So yeah, goodbye.